Today we are here from Colors of Medicine, and this is the launch of our new interview series with students and faculty in a variety of topics. Today our conversation is centered around diversity and inclusion. Joining me today will be Dr. Thomas, the Associate Dean of Diversity, Health, and Equity, as well as Inclusion, and she is our Associate Dean in that office. My name is Erica Onwabuchu, and I'm a third-year medical student at UTMB, as well as a Colors of Medicine mentor. Thank you, Dr. Thomas, for joining me today. To give you some more information about Colors of Medicine, the purpose of this initiative, it's a student-led initiative designed to increase the number of underrepresented minorities in medicine through a variety of efforts, including campus workshops, mentorship, as well as recruitment visits. Thank you, Dr. Thomas, for joining us today. To start off our conversation, I wanted to ask you a few questions, if that's okay. So, Dr. Thomas, can you tell us more about your journey to medicine and how it has led you to UTMB?
Well, thank you, Erica. I'm delighted to be a part of your series. Um, my journey to medicine actually started when I was in the seventh grade, and I saw a television program called 21st Century. And on that television, a program that was surgery. And I said, that's what I want to be. I want to become a doctor. Now, for a seventh grader growing up in rural Mississippi, in the early 60s. That was quite a dream. So from there, I moved from Mississippi to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and went to Marquette University on a full scholarship. And for 2 summers, I had the opportunity to go to Harvard University, where there were students from across the United States participating in the summer program. And so they exposed us to all of these different areas of medicine. And when I returned back to Marquette, my goal of becoming a physician was really finalized. I switched from medical technology to a biology major, and the rest is history. So I went to the University of Wisconsin Medical School, and after that, I trained at the Mount Sinai Medical Center in internal medicine and did some special work in geriatrics, and there launched my practice. After 7 years of private practice, I decided I wanted another challenge and was recruited to join the Medical College of Wisconsin by the late Buzz Cooper. Who was the dean at the time, and spent almost 11 years there working with students and developing programs from the NIH to help research and introduce minority students into the field of medicine. And then I was recruited by Dr. Stan Lemon to join his staff here at UTMB. And as the Associate Dean for Student Affairs and Admissions, the whole world opened up. So my primary responsibilities at that time was in admissions, academic affairs, student affairs, and starting up all of the pre-professional programs to help minority students matriculate into medical school. So that's the kind of long and short of it. It's a journey that I've thoroughly enjoyed throughout the past, let's just say, 20 plus years or so.
Oh man, that's awesome, Dr.
Yes.
Thomas. That's
Uh-huh.
great. We're happy to have you, and we're so glad that you ended up being at UTMB and working with the Diversity and Inclusion Office. We really need a lot of your expertise. So thank you for joining.
It's been an absolute joy and delight. One of the things, my premise is always to be available to help medical students navigate this wonderful journey called medicine, and to help them along the way whenever they encounter academic difficulty or personal issues. I want to be there to support them, take care of their problems and issues, and make sure that they graduate from medical school. I feel if I'm there to support them and provide the nurturing environment that they need, that they will treat their patients in a similar manner.
Of course. That's, I 100% agree with that. Thank you. That's an amazing journey. And again, we're happy to have you here at UTMB. Recently, you were promoted to be the Associate Dean of Diversity, Health, Inclusion, and Equity. Congratulations on that appointment again. Can you tell us more about your role in that office?
Well, it's continuing to develop as I sit here. It's an excellent opportunity. Back in October, the dean, Dr. Moulton, approached me about heading up the office in response to some student concerns about issues related to medical education. And I readily accepted the challenge. Um, my primary responsibilities are student related as well as involvement with faculty. I see my goal as helping students to navigate medical school here at UTMB and to provide the necessary resources that's going to make UTMB a nurturing, caring, supportive, and an encouraging environment. And that is to help minority students realize their potential and enjoy the process of learning throughout the 4 years that they will be in medical school, the allied professions, nursing school, and as well as graduate school. So it's involvement of all four disciplines. The Working with students has been an enjoyable opportunity, but there are a lot of issues as it pertains to diversity, health care issues, health disparities, inclusion, and equity that we must address, particularly given today's societal issues and the problems that we now face. And helping students to understand and navigate through these issues is critically important so that they end up victoriously celebrating their graduation at the end of 4 years.
That's amazing, and I'm happy that you brought up the discussion around healthcare disparities and wanting to really tackle that and what that means for students at the undergraduate level up into medical school and even beyond when they're working with their patients. And so that leads me to my next question is, within your role, what is your vision for diversity, health, and inclusion at UTMB?
Well, there are many. The first is to have a meeting, which occurred today, with the students to find out what is their vision, what do they see is needed in the office to help them be of assistance in recruiting other minority students to UTMB. Um, Providing the necessary resources, a place where they can call home, if you will, so that they understand that they're a very integral part of the campus and that they too will be successful in their goals, be it nursing or becoming a biomedical scientist or becoming a physician or an allied health professional. So, in terms of establishing a budget for the office, gathering the necessary space and resources for students to come in, browse, be supportive, a meeting place for students to gather, put forth their ideas for the university in terms of how it should position itself and make statements about UTMB's 5-year strategic plan in terms of helping students and faculty, increasing our underrepresented minority enrollment, for example, being a critical part of the community, helping mentorship programs, coming up with grants or scholarships for students to access so that they are not only nurtured but are financially assisted in their goals. So the charges of the office are many, and as I settle into this new role, I was certainly be discussing this with the provost and the dean in terms of how UTMB can position itself to be of service to students and increase our minority enrollment, increase the number, particularly about African American, Hispanic, other underrepresented minorities in the biomedical sciences, increase our enrollment in School of Nursing, allied health, so that we play a critical role in ameliorating healthcare disparities as they currently exist.
That's amazing. I'm very excited to see all of these tasks, to see it through with your expertise again. And just I'm very grateful to be able to be here and and share in portions of this exciting time, especially at UTMB, and just a lot of the efforts that we're doing with, especially during this the critical time that we're in right now, and with what's going on in the world, and also making sure that UTMB is playing its part. So I'm excited about the things that are to come. A follow-up question to that is, what are some of the initiatives you hope to accomplish within the next year?
Well, there are several. The first one that I see is the establishment of a four-school and student ambassadorship. For example, in the School of Medicine, they already have a student ambassadorship, which, by the way, I started many years ago. But what I hope to accomplish is to have each of the four schools establish a minority student ambassadorship where they are an integral part of the admissions committee conducting virtual tours from a minority student standpoint, so that incoming students know that they are welcome, that they will be encouraged and supported throughout their journey, be it becoming a biomedical scientist or a physician or a physician assistant or a nurse, whatever their respective field of interest is. So I think that ambassadorship is real critical to welcoming and helping UTMB recruit a diverse class of students that kind of mirrors the population of the state of Texas. The second thing is provide the necessary resources in the form of seminars, sensitivity workshops that will help students understand all of the new terminology as it's coming out in terms of diversity, inclusion, equity, microaggression, implicit, explicit bias, all of those things which we must address if students are, in fact, to settle into this environment of learning. One of the other critical things in terms of student well-being and health is critically important. And so I feel that the more that we can sponsor seminars or webinars or any of the podcasts to help students learn, and faculty as well, so that we improve the environment in which we all must grow and develop and learn and explore the world of science. Um, so the other things, of course, is to work with the dean in terms of budget funding for student-related activities as it pertains to their social acculturation adaptation to not only to UTMB but to the world at large, because you will have to participate as a health professional in the world, and to do so with this profound understanding of who you are and where you're going in life is critically important at this stage in your developmental foundational learning. So I really want to provide those resources in terms of providing mentorship in all of the four schools so the students know that they have resources, people that they can go and talk to who have done it, who have gone through what they're about to go through and experience, I think is critically important. A couple of the other things is, the dean started the Provost lecture series, and that has been very, very helpful in terms of enlightening us as to the microaggression and unconscious bias phenomena that can happen without us even knowing about it. So the more that we are educated and the more aware we become, I think that helps the environment that students must grow and live and learn in, and so that they emerge better individuals, better students, better professionals later on in their professional life. So those are some of the just immediate things that we want to do for students. And of course, grant writing to secure funding for any type of project that students might be involved in. Those are some of the real things. And helping to establish scholarships, I think, are really important because it will help us in the recruitment. And also to help the university establish some goals, both from a 1-year, 3-year, and 5-year strategic plan that we can work out, and to be an integral support to our human resource department because they have all of the necessary equipment, finances, and budget to help the university accomplish its goals.
These are great goals, and I am confident that you guys will be able to make great strides towards completing them the next year. I think this is a great starting point, and also great fact to know that you started the student ambassador program. I myself am a student ambassador in the Office of Recruitment and Admissions, so it's
Oh
exciting and
yeah,
warm
oh
to
yeah.
hear that you started that program.
Mhm.
So
There
congratulations
are
and
many
thank
other kind of
you.
traditions that we started. As most students are probably not aware, but UTMB led the nation, not the state, but the
Oh
entire nation
wow.
in terms of being number one in this recruitment of underrepresented minorities for about 10 to 11 years from 2001 to about 2012. And we have kind of lost a little bit of that popularity, but we're working extremely hard to regain it. And UTMB has always been a haven for minority students. They know that they're supported, that they are welcome, and that they are nurtured so that they reach their maximum potential. And that's critically important, again, because when they're in the real world practicing their respective professions, they'll think back and reflect upon the times they were here at UTMB, and they will know that they were nurtured and that they were helped along the way. And this in turn becomes a cycle of helping, giving, and returning back to the community in perpetuity. And that is really the idealistic goal that I would like to have for UTMB.
Oh, that's amazing. I personally can attest to the importance of having mentorship, great mentors like yourself,
Yes.
especially helping me guide me through this process that's quite daunting. But again, like you mentioned, when you have people who have gone before you and have navigated that path, it makes things a little bit more easier and less daunting and less frightening for
Yes,
you to be able to succeed and know that people are there in your court. And so thank you
absolutely.
for being able to be the trailblazer and providing that. My follow up question now is, as someone who identifies as an African American female, what has been your experience working in an academic setting?
It has been an overwhelming, delightful, challenging experience. I've thoroughly enjoyed working in academic medicine for about the past 30 years or so. Um, I needed a challenge, which is why I switched from the practice of medicine to becoming an academic administrator. It started off with my wanting to learn how to write grants. And of course, not knowing anything, I can credit Dr. Herbert Swick and Dr. Phil Fulkerson for helping me to write the first Health Careers Opportunity Program grant. And so over the years, millions of dollars have flowed into UTMB because of those efforts that I learned way back when. As an African American female, I felt that I had to be a positive role model.
Mm-hmm.
And in my interactions with all students, but especially with minority students, when they see me, I want them to understand that they too shall be successful in their goals of becoming a healthcare professional, be a biomedical scientist or physician or a nurse or whatever is the goal. And I stand on the shoulders of giants who have proceeded before me, and they paved the way. And so, my personal goal and my personal commitment is to make sure that students always have what they need in order to be successful. That is critically important. We have such a shortage of healthcare professionals and, in particular, physicians, that it is incumbent upon me to help pave the way for students to become a part of this great noble profession. And to the extent that I can help trailblaze the way even farther, I'm more than willing to be a student advocate to help them understand that regardless of the challenges that are here today, those challenges will exist tomorrow. But there are challenges that can and will be overcome, and you as a student will end up victoriously at the end of your period of study. And if I can help someone along the way so that they too become similar in their goal of helping others, then I feel that my living, as that song goes, would not have ever been in vain. And that if I can give back to the community, if I can help shelter someone else through, then of course that's what I should be doing. And it has been a delightful experience, not without its challenges, but I'm the kind of person who thrives on challenges. I love a challenge, and I love showing students the way around a roadblock or how to overcome a challenge so that they are always successful in reaching their goals.
That's powerful. Thank you. That's amazing. I hope to only do at least half of what you've been able to do in your journey. I love a good challenge as well, but
Yeah, yeah.
okay. So as we wrap up our discussion, what advice or tips would you have for underrepresented minority pre-med students that are navigating this journey called medicine?
Oh, there are so many positive things that I'd like to say to them. But the first thing is to know yourself. Always appreciate your strengths as well as your weaknesses. Your strengths you keep, your weaknesses you improve upon. The overarching goal is to never let anyone else define who you are and what you will become in the future. You must know that you have the capability, the intellectual wherewithal, and the gift that has been given to you to accomplish whatever goal is set before you. When you reach a challenge that you think that you cannot overcome, find that mentor who can tell you this is how it's done, and you listen and understand that you can achieve anything that you set your mind to. If you can see it, if you can believe it, then you certainly can achieve it. And so, the most important thing, secondly, is to always work hard to accomplish your goal. Just think about it. If anyone could become a biomedical scientist or a physician, it would be easy.
Yeah.
This is years and years of hard work and dedication and motivation to the task at hand. So you have to dig your heels in and believe in yourself and work hard towards accomplishing that goal. And at the end of the day, you will be successful in reaching that particular accomplishment. And I always tell students where there's a will, there's a way. Where there's a way, there is an A. So make sure that you work hard and get that 4.0. If not, so I'll sell for the 3.8 or the 3.5. I'll sell for the competitive MCAT score or the GRE that you will need in order to get into graduate school. But no, please know that these things are possible if you only believe. And you must believe in yourself, and you must believe that hard work will eventually get you to where you want to go.
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you so much. I feel like you've offered so many great gems. I'm just trying to keep a hold and process all of these for myself. Thank you
Oh,
again for
absolutely.
being able to be here and sit with me. You've provided an amazing amount of tips and advice, and I look forward to seeing what the Office of Diversity, Inclusion, and Equity has to offer in the future. And again, congratulations on your appointment. I know you will do great things, and I look forward to seeing what's to come.
UTMB Health, working together to work wonders.